In this video, I want to talk about the different types of statistical studies that there are, as well as discuss the role of randomization in these studies. The ACT will test your basic knowledge of statistics, and one of the ways they do that is they want to make sure that you understand randomization and the different types of statistical studies. So let's talk about statistical studies. So surveys. You've probably participated in several surveys in your life. Surveys are research methods that are designed to gather self-reported data. So gather self-reported data from a sample of a population. An example of a survey might be simple. Let's say your school wants to know how much its students like the school lunch program. So they send out a survey and they ask all the students to rate various aspects of the school lunch program. That would be a survey. Now, what about an observational study? Well, an observational study is a research method designed to determine how two parameters move together. So in observational studies, researchers are trying to figure out if there is a correlation between two parameters. For example, someone might study a certain population or a sample of a population's average time spent exercising versus their blood cholesterol levels. And what they might find is that there is a correlation between more time spent exercising each week and lower blood cholesterol levels. Now, one thing that's very important here is that observational studies are not going to show causality. They can only show a correlation between items or between parameters. The reason why is they don't account for confounding variables. So again, observational studies, they can only show a correlation. Now, this is different from experiments, and this distinction is important and often tested on the ACT. Experiments are research methods designed to establish or show a causality. And what you'll have in an experiment is you'll have a sample of a population where part of that sample is assigned to a control group, and then another part of that sample is assigned to a treatment group. The assigning of the population or the sample of a population to the control group and the treatment group is what distinguishes an experiment from an observational study. Okay, let's talk very briefly about randomization. So we can have randomized samples and non-randomized samples. So randomized samples, and this is really the purpose of randomization, randomization gives unbiased results. Versus a non-randomized study. A non-randomized study will give you biased results. As an example, if you wanted to determine what the most popular sport was at a particular high school among the students, and you only asked the cross-country runners what their favorite sport was, then you would probably get biased results because this is not randomized. You are targeting a specific niche group, the cross-country runners, who probably have different opinions on their favorite sport than can be generalized among the entire population of high school students. On the contrary, if you were to create an email list of all of the high school students and let a computer randomly select one out of every 5 of those emails for this survey, you would most likely get a representative sample that gave you unbiased results.